Thanks for joining us at 5. We start tonight with a sad story. 2 young children without their dad after a crash in a retention pond.
Metro Police were able to rescue the children from the water, but their dad did not make it. Matthew Foltz spoke with their family and shares the heroic actions of the officers.
Metro Police say the crash happened here at this retention pond near Pendleton Pike and 465 shortly after midnight Tuesday morning. IMPD says the car was completely underwater when officers got to the scene along with firefighters. 4 officers jumped in without hesitation to save 28-year-old Deshaun Sims and 2 children trapped inside.
Very traumatic situation. That's the type of stuff that our first responders throughout the city are doing day in and day out.
Tommy Thompson with IMPD says officers performed CPR on Deshaun and one of the children at the scene before they were transported to the hospital.
Not only was it frigid temperatures there in this water, to have a vehicle in that water thinking this could be your last breath, the panic.
Deshaun later died at the hospital, and police say the children are still recovering at Riley.
To think about what those children had to go through, what that family's going through, that's where our thoughts and prayers are with that family. This is a lot for those little children.
I spoke to some of Deshaun's family members over the phone who sent me these pictures of him. They tell me he was the greatest father to his son and daughter, and that he was a great son, brother, and nephew. And right now they question how the crash happened, but they believe it was an accident. It's something police are also working to figure out.
We don't know all the facts and circumstances of that. We'll work to try to gather as much as we can, but they need you. They need your prayers. They need your thoughts. Reach out, help them, be with these little children. They're going to need you.
It's that support the family tells me they'll hold on to as they try to process and heal. Reporting on Indy's Northeast Side, I'm Matthew Foltz, 13 News.
Process and heal. The family also tells Matthew today is the birthday of the little boy rescued from the car. Right now, it's a lot for all of them to process. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Tonight, a licensed therapist from Pendleton knows the time that he'll be spending behind bars after pleading guilty to child sex crimes. A Madison County judge sentenced Alex Hedgie to 91 years in prison. He pled guilty to child molestation, exploitation, and possession of child sex abuse material without a plea agreement. Hedgie did work with children with autism in Anderson, but this past summer, investigators say they had not linked any crimes to the place where he worked.
Tonight, one man is under arrest after an early morning raid at a house on the near northeast side.
Our Rich Nye spent today working to learn more about why federal Homeland Security took part in that raid.
A neighbor told me she's been concerned about the activity at this house and people coming and going at all hours of the night. Then Tuesday morning, just after 6 a.m., she heard loud booms and discovered police were raiding the house.
Busted glass in the doorway indicates police arrived with force. Officers representing federal, state, and local law enforcement joined the operation. Metro Police arrested a 2-time convicted felon on 2 valid warrants. 26-year-old Joseph Marquez Santos was wanted in Hamilton County for a probation violation on possession of a narcotic. Marquez Santos just got out of prison last year after violating probation in a Marion County case for stealing a gun, domestic battery, and resisting law enforcement. Federal Homeland Security did not respond to our request about why that agency was involved in the raid. In Indianapolis, Rich Nye, 13 News.
Now, our cameras captured officers detaining at least 2 other people at that house, but the police report shows just 1 person was arrested.
Tonight, we're learning of a settlement between a downtown Indy bar and the State Alcohol and Tobacco Commission. It comes months after Metro Police say a security guard shot 2 women as they left the bar. We're talking about the Patron Saint. It's located off Meridian Street, just south of Georgia Street. A week after the shooting, Metro Police said the bar also failed to check an ID and served someone underage. Now the ATC's reached an agreement with the bar to settle the violations it faced for a public nuisance and furnishing alcohol to a minor. And it includes 2 separate 3-day weekend suspensions, with one happening this coming weekend, as well as other actions like increased staff training and an improved process for checking IDs.
An Indianapolis public school family says their 5-year-old child now is scared to go to school because of actions allegedly taken by a special education teacher.
Jenna Webster explains why they're now planning to sue the district.
A tort claim notice filed against Indianapolis Public Schools alleges a special education teacher repeatedly physically and verbally abused a kindergartner here at Washington Irving Elementary School. Court documents allege multiple incidents happened in the fall. The kindergartner is autistic and nonverbal. In one incident, the boy's special education teacher allegedly tripped him, then dragged him by the ankle along the hallway floor. Documents claim the teacher used a classroom closet repeatedly as a disciplinary measure and details at least one time he put the boy inside the closet. Attorneys say the family did not know about the abuse until the Department of Child Services called. They say IPS never notified them, one of the reasons they now plan to file a lawsuit.
At this point, we haven't seen any statements from the teacher, but what we have looked at are what was reported to DCS, what witnesses who saw this, who have really no dog in the fight, have reported. And I think that speaks volumes as to what's happening. We also look at what was happening with this child during all of it and how this child was acting every morning going to school. Most children don't urinate on themselves upon coming up at the school door and start crying in fear.
The tort claim notice says the family is seeking more than $700,000 per incident of abuse. In Indianapolis, Jenna Webster, 13 News.
Last month, an IPS spokesperson said a teacher at Washington Irving Elementary School was no longer employed by the district after an investigation into excessive force allegations. Tonight, we're working to learn if this is the same teacher in the tort claim notice. And today, we reached out to the district. They say they are working on a response to our questions.
Mid to high 40s as we look live downtown right now. This is Tuesday night. Still pretty mild out there, but we do have some winter weather that's coming in later this week.
Yes, a temperature tumble is what Angela likes to call it.
I do like to call it that. Sean calls it weather whiplash. Take your pick. We've got near 50 today to much colder, snow showers, and the potential of some accumulating snow as we look ahead. We'll take you back outside where temperatures are in the 40s and 50s at this hour. 53 in Greensburg, 49 in Indianapolis. We have 45 in Connorsville and 46 degrees with clouds in Crawfordsville. We are keeping an eye on a developing weather system. It's the reason for the clouds, it's the reason for the wind, and the reason we've got some rain and snow showers headed our way. At times, winds gusted over 30 miles per hour. We still have some gusts near 30. Bloomington and Bedford right now gusting to 18 in Indianapolis. So it'll stay breezy this evening, mainly cloudy skies. Temperatures nearly steady, middle and upper 40s tonight. Headed to school, clouds and a few showers, so maybe throw the umbrella in. Early morning temperatures in the mid 30s. That's as warm as it gets. By this time tomorrow, we're going to be tracking snow showers and temperatures in the 20s.
All right, thanks a lot, Angela. And by this time next week, IU football fans are hoping the team will be back in Bloomington with the national championship title.
Wouldn't that be something?
That's what we're rooting for, right?
Absolutely. Well, so now this is all the lead up to the big matchup. Yesterday we heard from the coaches. Today, Eli Gain caught up with some members of the team ahead of kickoff.
Indiana is on the doorstep of its first ever national championship. What a turnaround. Of course, we've talked about it the last two seasons under Curt Cignetti, instilling a mental attitude and toughness to really not be complacent and to continue to work and fight despite playing with a chip on their shoulder, even though they've been pretty much the favorites in this college football playoff. Now, all of a sudden, the Hoosiers are in the conversation of being one of the best college football teams of all time. Currently 15-0, a chance to do something that's never been done in college football, finishing a season 16-0. To be at the top of the college football world, but for these players, it's all basically the same as it's always been, having a mental focus and sharpness to be able to get over whatever hurdle they can. They'll have one more chance to do it Monday night with a chance to win a national championship.
We're really treating it like any other game. Like, that's what you have to do. You don't want to make the moment bigger than it is. We understand it's a national championship and a lot of people are going to be watching, but we're going to treat this practice week the same. Our mentality is going to be the same. We're just going to try to go in, work every single day up until leading up to that game.
I think we've done a good job of having that headspace and having that mindset, never making it bigger than it is, and really just making sure we're putting in the work and putting in the prep so that when we get to game day, we put our best foot forward.
And we, of course, hope you continue to follow our coverage of this historic Indiana Hoosiers run. Me and Dom will be heading down to South Beach for coverage all weekend leading up to kickoff. You can check us out over the air right here on Channel 13 and on the digital side of things over on WTHR+. In Bloomington, covering the Hoosiers, I'm Eli Gain for 13 Sports.
All right, we're wearing our red today. We were discussing, should we wear red all week? Do we have enough red to get it all the way through Monday?
Is there enough red? So I was like, I'll start Tuesday.
Well, you know, the look of the uniform is changing also for the players of the team, so we want to show you something cool about that.
Yeah, look at these pictures here. The post says, new addition to our unis.
That's right. They're talking about this patch here, the national championship logo. Pretty cool that the Hoosiers have that.
Only a few can wear it. That's awesome. Really, really exciting. Has us all seeing red.
Yeah, wear it proudly. So many people are making plans for where they're going to watch the game. You know, the tickets are expensive, the flights are expensive. Maybe you're hosting a party. Maybe you want to go out and be with the community. And if that is you, then listen up, because there's a new place now that says they're going to open up their doors on Monday night. It's a brand new option.
The Fishers Event Center is hosting a free watch party. Now, you will need a ticket for admission.
The good thing is that there's parking on site. You're not going to be charged for that. They will have concessions available for sale. And also, you do want to make sure you reserve your tickets now if you want to go, since the event center limit is 7,500 people.
So here's a link to tickets. We've posted it on WTHR.com/scene-on-13. Still kind of gives you that stadium atmosphere, the arena atmosphere, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, we saw there was a lot of demand for events like that when the Pacers were in the playoffs. So, you know, the crowd's going down to Gamebridge and just kind of watching up on the big screen there. So an opportunity to kind of have that crowd atmosphere as the Hoosiers go for the national title. And of course, it's busy time for us in journalism too. Our news journalists and our sports photographers and reporters are all ready, packing their bags and getting ready to go on the road. We're going to bring you live team coverage from Miami ahead of, during, and after the game. Dom and Eli are kicking off our live coverage. That'll be Friday night here on 13 News.
Dustin and Sam are then going to join them this weekend for all your coverage on air as well as on WTHR+, which is really cool.